Now, speaking of public shelters and you're taking a regional perspective on what is happening with Typhoon Mawar's arrival, our own Tomas Mangloni is up in Saipan and he is in Cagman at the public shelter up there in the NMI. And Tomas, I know the good folks in the CNMI taking this situation very, very seriously. You've been updating on our website and on social media about all of the activities in preparation as Mawar makes its way closer to our region. What is the very latest?
Yes, Jason, good morning. You're right. It's about safety, it's about preparation, it's about information. And this morning, the government saying it's also about anticipation. We received a government memo this morning from the spokesperson from the CNMI governor's office who says that they are anticipating to declare Tropical Storm Condition 1 for the islands of Saipan and Tinian later today. Typhoon Condition 2 for Rota remains, and it's anticipated that that status is also going to change late into the afternoon today. Again, that information coming through a government-wide memo sent to the government offices as they are also set to be closed at 12:30 p.m. until the all clear is given. And you're right, we're here at the Cagman shelter. It's one of many shelters that we have also brought you images of last night. That they were activated 4 p.m. yesterday. Those shelters are again at the Marianas High School cafeteria, at the Coblerville Elementary School cafeteria, and the Cagman High School cafeteria where we are at. They have been activated since Monday at 4 p.m. We've seen a few residents and families already make their way in this morning while we were waiting here on the show. Again, all of this information is going to bound to change or evolve or have an update. This is as of 11 a.m. this morning. And again, if you need to get transported to a shelter and you need transportation, you can call the following numbers. On Saipan, that's 670-237-8000. Also 670-236-2682. On Tinian, if you need transportation to the Tinian shelter, which is at the Tinian Elementary School, you can call the public school system on Tinian at 670-783-8692 or 670-433-9250. And there was also additional numbers there, 670-433-1800. And the Rota shelter is at Sinapalo Office on Aging and the Dr. Rita H. Enos Junior Senior High School. And to get transportation there, you can call the Rota Mayor's office, 670-532-9451 or 52, or the secondary number is 670-286-6618. Of course, all of this information is available on KUAM CNMI Instagram and KUAM.com. Jason, we also wanted to share, of course, one of the biggest news from yesterday is that CNMI Governor Arnold Palacios has asked U.S. President Joe Biden to issue a pre-landfall disaster declaration, which will essentially expand the federal authority support in the region. I do want to note, though, that the governor himself also acknowledged that Saipan and Tinian are going to get less of an impact in the storm, though they are still taking it seriously. They are diverting most of the resources to the residents on Rota. And I did get a chance to speak with Congressman Kilili from the CNMI, who is in our nation's capital. He says, I'm still in DC and we have been informed of, and I support Governor Palacios' request and hope that FEMA would agree to recommend President Biden's approval of the request. So again, everyone here preparing, no doubt, given the lessons learned in the past decade with Typhoon Mangkut, Typhoon Sudalor, Typhoon YouTube, everyone is taking this seriously, but also a lot of resources being redirected over to the island of Rota. And Jason, tonight on Primetime, we will be speaking with the Rota mayor and also the person in charge of the logistics on the island of Rota. And so we'll give you more and report more from Rota, given that they will be taking most of the impact of the storm, at least when it comes to things in the Northern Marianas. So this is a developing situation. This information is as of Tuesday morning today at 11 a.m. if you're listening to this at any other time. And we will be sure to continue to update you on KUAM.com.
All right, very interesting, Tomas, because I know, in terms of scale, as we of course send our thoughts and our prayers and our well wishes to all of our brothers and sisters out in the NMI. The CNMI, obviously, all three islands, a little bit smaller in terms of population and landmass than Guam, but I mean, it is a unique challenge because these are three islands separated by geography, which makes for a very daunting challenge. And I know you said there's differences in the levels of the conditions. The typhoon condition for one of the islands, Rota, of course, being the nearest to Guam and the smallest tropical storm conditions being with Tinian and Saipan. Just to get everybody up to speed, Guam continues to be in condition of readiness level 2 for the moment. It was announced last night that Guam will be in condition of readiness level 1. That will be declared at 1 p.m. this afternoon, at which point practically all of Guam's operations, except for emergency response personnel, critical agencies, they will still be operating. But basically, we go into condition 1 at 1 p.m. in anticipation of the arrival of the typhoon, with tropical storm force winds expected as early as this afternoon. So, Tomas, what are you getting from some of the feedback from some of your neighbors over there, or people about what the storm's arrival could mean?
Right. So they're, like I said, they're taking it seriously, and right now, I think everyone is definitely keeping hopes and prayers for the island of Rota. And yesterday, one of the things that was addressed by Homeland Security and Emergency Management was the logistical challenges of getting equipment down to Rota, because these are large generators, large equipment that they're trying to get down there. And so what Governor Arnold Palacios told us and what the Homeland Security told us is that they're working also with some vendors, but also with the Department of Defense through Joint Region Marianas, if they need the assistance to get down, for instance, that one generator to the Rota Health Center, which of course is needed. We've spoken with the Utilities Corporation. They've told us that they're sending down a team to be there to assess the damage after, already anticipating that destruction and wanting to be ready once the typhoon passes over to respond and get everyone back connected to power and water if they lose it over the course of this storm.
Yeah, and of course, the Rota is, in terms of like on paper, Rota is part of the Northern Mariana Islands, but of course, because of proximity, Rota is only 49 miles away from Guam. Guam has always had a very special relationship with Rota, and they say on a very clear day, if you're up at one of our northernmost beaches, you can actually see Rota from there. So obviously, Guamanians have always had a very special place in our heart for Rota, and we wish them the very best as well as they prepare to go through this with us.
Yes, we will continue to track the impact and hear directly from our sources on the island of Rota, firsthand accounts. We're going to work hard today to interview them virtually. I know that they're busy and we're thankful for their time, but for now we're scheduled to speak with the mayor and one of the other officers in charge of the response there, and we'll get to know better what Rota's status is and how they're preparing, given their challenges as well.
All right, very well. And just let me add on to that, Tomas, that our own Nestor Lecanto is also, he's got some talk time on Zoom coming up later on in prime time tonight, talking to our FEMA representative about their arrival, their anticipated interaction with the government here, about what they can do for storm recovery, response, and the litany of work that lay ahead for those as well. So it's good to see that our two governments are in lockstep and really keeping people informed, but also making sure people are aware of exactly what's going on, not only with the storm's anticipated arrival, but also what happens afterwards.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, so that's Tomas Manglonia up in Saipan. And of course, we wish all the good people in the NMI, we wish that they fare well as well. Once again, real quick, the Typhoon Mawar is 235 miles to the southeast of Guam. It increased in strength last night. It is now a Category 3 storm with winds, maximum sustained winds, 125 miles per hour. Guam will be going into condition of readiness level 1 at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Please stay tuned. When Hotspot returns, we have much more to come.